And welcome back to Retrospect My Fantasy, where we are currently taking a look at the Final Fantasy franchise from beginning to end and working on installment number 13. Now, we're almost done with 13, and hopefully we'll finish it this week, but before we push forward, I have one announcement to go over, and that is that we are partners with Humble. So if you take this link that I just threw up into chat, what's going to happen is you'll be taken to the Humble homepage where you can take a look at the Humble bundles, the Humble monthly, or check out the Humble store, which I highly recommend right now. The Humble store has a sale on a significant number of their sci-fi games. Some big ones too. There's Stellaris, No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous. I want to say I saw FTL on sale. So some good deals. And the reason you want to use this link as opposed to just going there normally is, on top of the getting yourself some amazing games and supporting amazing charities, by using this link you also help support the channel. It lets them know that I sent you and that a portion of your purchases will go towards supporting this channel. So please, if you're looking at making any gaming purchases in the near future, go check them out. Chances are something you're looking for will be on sale, and usually at a pretty good price too. So let us jump back into the game and see what we can do. So last time on Final Fantasy 13. I'm getting pretty good at that. Last time we were playing, we interrupted a big ceremony by taking a ship, jumping in the middle of a race, casting spells and summons, just in general making a giant mess of things. The cavalry came in and killed Rays. We've been running around dealing with the Defender Corps and whatnot. It's been a mess. Now you may notice that Lightning's sword is a little different, and that is because I was able to farm up enough money to buy an adamantine to level it up. What leveling up gave us was a new tier of her ATB build-up, so she's even better at it. She gains a little bit more ATB with every attack she makes. And it was a little bit more powerful, but not significantly. And haven't really been able to level it up since then. And I've just been fighting these 3 fights over and over and over again, which gave me a lot of incentive chips and whatnot. So we had some money, which was good. We were able to actually, get that adamantine stone. But yeah, that pretty much cashed us out. We've also gained a lot of XP, but haven't spent really much of any of it. And that's not true. We've spent it all. It just, hasn't really gotten us very far. Because everything that we want to do leveling up wise is just so damn expensive now. I'm hoping that we'll move after this into an area where our grinding can be a little bit more fruitful. Because I don't think we're going to finish the game today, but I do believe we're going to finish it this week. We've got a couple bosses in this section, and then we move on to the last chapter, chapter 13, which has 3 bosses of its own, I want to say. I scrolled through really quickly on a FAQ just to see how, a walkthrough, just to see how far we were in the game and how much more we had to go. I also took the liberty of this weekend installing 15. So once we are done with this, we can just jump straight into 15. Which will be good. I know I've been kind of a downer. I'm sorry, guys. I understand. But I'm super excited to move on from this game because this game isn't as bad as I make it seem. I'm just really frustrated by it.
So the cavalry's here to,
They're here for Orphan. If it's close to the Fal'Cie Eden, they're probably headed for the heart of the Sanctum.
Right. And if they destroy it, bad things are gonna happen.
So long,
Yeah.
Cocoon.
Then we better get there before they do.
Damn straight.
Let's move!
Oh boy. Yeah, not everyone is lightning. Oh, it's already ticked off. Okay. Oh, no it's not. Fine then. We were eventually able to kill you and your kind. It's a giant pain in the butt, but we're able to do it. And we're not consistent on it. Although we're a lot stronger than we were then, so hopefully we can do a little better. I'm also kind of wondering, instead of leveling up weapons, if I should now be focusing on leveling up accessories, because that's going to be where all of our like defensive power is. He's going to heal up, so all of our damage that we did goes away, but that's okay, because we're almost to the point where we can kill him easily. Let's move over to Solidarity, because he's going to get ready to do some things. As soon as he uses... Yeah. So these guys don't have a really very wide moveset, and they don't attack very frequently. So once you actually like figure out kind of the timing, what you need to be doing when, you can kind of just take them out. 4,000? Hey, there's something. Like that's an actual amount of experience, as opposed to like the 2,000 that we were earning before.
We're never gonna make it.
Not with an attitude like that, we won't.
Just run and shoot.
Why don't you just try it?
It's only 2 of these guys. How bad can it be? And these guys weren't even really that bad at their worst. I mean, they weren't exactly great either, but they weren't that bad. Alright, 1 down and 1 to go. Yep, this guy's doomed.
And I was just getting started.
Where are you now? Alright, so we...
I'll make short work.
Hey! Wait. Did I not change the... I did not. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. No, next up here was fun. But it was not... what we are in this to do. There we go. Got that fixed. Whoa, is that a civilian? Dude! Get the heck out of here. Man, these civilians, they're a lot braver than I would have expected them to be. Even just hanging out here makes them braver than I would have expected them to be. And how you doing, Henry? We might play some more Next Step Hero in the future. But we want to finish up with Lightning's story so we can... Lightning's story. That's not true, because we're not going to play the other two. We want to finish up with the first act of Lightning's story so we can move on to Noxus's story.
Just another battle.
Noxus? Final Fantasy IV, if I were into MMOs, and MMOs weren't forever, or weren't perpetual experiences, we might. The problem with MMOs is the perpetual experience thing. Noctises? Okay. And I know there is, in most MMOs, a point where the perpetual experience kind of ends until you get into like raids and high-end stuff, but that's can still be hundreds of hours. And that is actually primarily the reason why I didn't do 11 and why we're not going to do 14 is the... Like, we're already at 50 hours with this game, and that's more than I wanted to put into any singular game on the stream. Or we'll end up with more than I wanted to do for any singular game. Which is why we're only doing, like, if I were full-time, essentially if I were a full-time streamer, and I needed to create the kind of content to fill that time slot, I might do an MMO. I would probably start with like a free-to-play, like DDO. Just to kind of test the waters. And if people like that, then I would consider moving on to bigger MMOs. The Behemoth King. Let's get rid of the Behemoth King. It did get smaller. I changed it a little bit because I know that once we get to some other games, I might have to move it around a little bit. So I'm kind of testing the waters with the face cam a little bit to see if smaller is acceptable, and how small essentially acceptable is. This is about 3/4 the size that it was before. And I wanted to still have the face cam on stream, but I don't want it to be taking up a whole bunch of space for later on. So this is just kind of a test. We might do some other tests. One of the things I even considered was, for some games, just getting rid of face cam altogether, but I don't think I like that idea. I think I like having the face cam. Man, these guys get pretty burly if you let them.
Just like I planned.
Alright. Good experience, too. Haven't left any treasure chests behind. Good. Oh, speaking of... Ooh, a new weapon for, Snow. I almost said, what's his butt? But then I remembered his name. Take a look at what? What are you referring to? Oh, just the... lots of rubble up ahead? Oh, that's a boss fight. That totally looks like we're gonna have a boss fight. We are gonna have a rumble. Hey, Wicked! Thank you for the host! So if we're gonna have a rumble, let us do a little bit of leveling. Well, I did say a little bit. Yes, I think we're looking at Commando. Alright. You're my only hope. I'm sorry, I've been waiting to make that joke, and I can't believe that I have held out as long as I have. Well, magic is far more important towards Hope's development than... Yep. Knew that was happening. Okay, that works. I was going to come to you, but hey, if you want to come to me, that by all means. Also, that was awfully... We are, wow, building up that that meter very quickly. A lot more quickly than I was expecting. Alright then, that was awfully quick. And that was not a boss fight. Good to know. Nope, no treasure. Always gotta be on the lookout for hidden chests. Ooh. Uh-oh. Psychom's coming for us. Not anything really all that new. I'm kind of curious why they decided... So earlier, in just the last zone, we had to fight 2 of these, or 4 of these. And if we were able to make it past that, why would they do just 2? Why not continue with the 4?
Wasn't so bad.
I don't know. Just seems a little odd to me. Not like exceptionally odd, just a little bit. Hey there, Defender Corps dude. Now see, here is a little bit of an upscale. Now we are up to 3 of them, and then plus a couple of guys with guns. They don't have to get into our faces, so... shit. Oh. Fix yourself. Oh, too late. Time to go to even odds then. And please resurrect hope. Oh god.
Feeling nervous?
Well, this fight might not be going particularly good.
Keep a cool head.
Alright, we got everyone back. Yeah, I think our current issue is we need to work on our accessories as opposed to our weapons. Our weapons are fine. Our stats are fine. We need our accessories to be better, especially our defensive accessories. I think that's our current issue. It's a very fixable issue. It's just, you know, we need to have a spot where we can farm out some good. Ooh, hey, aren't you a big boy? Yeah, we just need a spot where we can farm out some good materials. And that's something that, unfortunately, Proto-Behemoth, that we really haven't had yet. This is probably our first area where there's any decent number of various enemies to give us different types of materials. Because, you know, it's one thing to have a whole bunch of a singular material, but you really want just a whole butt-ton of different materials. Yep, let's get all that protect up. Alright. We got our protect up. That's our biggest, most important thing. And apparently Fang is also otherwise just super pumped. Oh, he did not regain life. That was probably a big mistake. You are dead, sir. And I am sorry. Actually, I'm not really all that sorry. Because you're a big behemoth, and behemoths can be really nasty. There we go. We got him. Alright, so... Critical power surge, huh? Well, let's at least get this up to 14. And we'll see. This is scale, that's not... Nope, nope. Nope. Up. The Sinister Fang is our best? Wow. Alright. So, I think we're done with the Enkindler, and that we're going to go over here. We're going to specifically focus on there we go. Let's put those all up top. Want that could be really useful, but no, what we really want is nope, not you, not you. I guess this is the one we want. we want Hope's HP to go up that way. Oh. Hey there, big boss man. I'm glad I leveled up a weapon. How are you doing? Oh, you.
Ross.
What's he doing here?
Has grown, Mr. Villiers. No matter. We will lay down our lives if that is what it takes to stop you.
Oh, we're on the same side here. We came back to stop all of this.
Nevertheless, you are the sea.
So wait, was he not really there? Was he a hologram?
We can trust the pawns no more than the foul sea who moved them. Humanity's fate rests in its own hands.
Well, clearly it doesn't. Just saying. The Proud Clawed, huh? Interesting. The Proud Clawed was in 7, right? And it was just a regular enemy, I want to say? God, now I don't remember which game the Proud Clawed was.
No further.
Wow. I mean, this is pretty far into the game. Maybe we should do some pretty serious healing right now.
This will be quick.
Gotta stay in control.
Thank you.
Gotta stay in control. Do you remember it from like an ad or like, where do you recognize it from?
Give it your best shot.
Ooh, limiter's deactivated. What does that mean, Precious? Oh. The fact that we're fighting a Proud Clawed, that's what you remember? Oh, shit. Lightning is messed up. Wow. This guy,
How can it end like this?
when he removes that limiter, becomes very dangerous. Okay. Okay. So we need to open up with actually our come on, let me skip it. Thank you. So we need to open up with even odds? Evening the odds? Yeah, evening odds. We'll get all of our positive status effects.
Appreciate it.
And then we'll pound the crap out of him. And hopefully that will suffice. If not, then we might actually need to use one of the aerosol bonus things. Or God forbid, we actually have to use a summon in a fight? Like, how weird would that be? don't think we're gonna go any further. That's really silly of you, to be perfectly frank. You do know that... Oh. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows that we're the heroes. And that he's just an obstacle. A mighty obstacle. I mean, I'm not going to downplay his his role in this, but yeah, he thinks he's more than he is. He thinks he's the hero. Man, that's going to be quite the letdown when we finally let him in on the secret.
No further.
Alright. This guy's a total dong, so...
Bring it on.
we need to get all of our healing in. God dang, he hits hard and fast. Oh. It's just for a short period of time? Oh. That means I probably almost had it. Oh man, you're screwed now. I feel really bad for not remembering. Like, I remember the Proud Claude was in 7, but I don't remember which boss the Proud Claude was. Like, I'm trying to imagine it in my mind's eye, and I just can't recall it. And I feel really bad. Because A, Final Fantasy VII wasn't that long ago that we played it. And B, I played a lot of Final Fantasy VII back in the day. Yeah, we got him. Just had to survive that, like, 2-minute... Ooh, a particle accelerator.
That's all she can take. Fall back.
No, I want to get more. Oh.
I don't understand. We want the same thing. Why can't we just work together?
Because he's a zealot.
These people are so blinded by fear, they can't even imagine it. Are we too late?
Not yet. And we can't give up.
Although, based
No
on
one
your
else knows
mark,
the truth. Am I right?
getting pretty close.
Only we know about the plan to destroy Cocoon.
And which Falsi's behind it. Bartandalus.
Then what are we waiting for? It's time for some payback.
That's what I'm talking about. Once everything's finally out in the open, people are gonna have to wake up from this nightmare.
Let's show them how
Alright.
human we still are.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's ruin Bartandalus's day. Is there anything over here of consequence? Nope. Okay. Time to go jumping then. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but everyone in this world has really strong legs. Look at those jumps. And God dang, lightning is strong. Just in general, she has... I don't think she has the highest stats, but they're very well balanced. Yeah, you're still on Ravager. I think that Zaz has the highest stats overall, like total, just because his hit points are through the roof. Commando's done, Ravager's done. On to Synergist, apparently. Wait. He's just now getting Protect and Shell as a Synergist? Wow. Alright. Yeah, we're working on Commando. And we don't actually need to worry about those other three right now.
Coon's our home.
Even though
This
we
isn't
did
gonna
get
be the end
Zaz.
of it.
Coon's in our hands now.
She looks so aloof, staring off at not her allies, with her hair all over in her eyes. Alright. Thank you. Oh. Ooh, ouch. That hurt. Hey, Kassan, how you doing? Wait, how come these guys can... Oh, never mind. Oh, you... Oh. Oh, crap. It is doing very well, sir. Thank you very much. Wait, we survived a step? Oh, heck yeah, this guy's days are numbered then. Well, maybe. Lightning, you need to keep these people alive. That is your only job right now. Although that's going to be very difficult considering you're A, not that good at magic, and B, especially not healing magic.
You looking at me?
There we go. I mean,
Steady now.
having Fang on defense really isn't going to help a whole lot, but considering we can't quick change our
Keep a cool head.
paradigm mid-combat into something more convenient, this is what we get. They, huh? So it was going to yell at us. That could have been bad. Oh, Hope. Why can you not have Dao's, or nearly 7,000 hit points like Fang? Well, not easily have 7,000 hit points like Fang. And we beat one! It only took us going to another world and having it set up in such a way that we were supposed to defeat it in order to make that happen. But we did it! Oh, come on, man. We just saved your life.
Let's go.
Man, all these people look very downtrodden and not nearly terrified enough.
And I've never seen some of these monsters before. Do they have some other art we don't...
Not enough.
In the military's eyes.
But we might, with that item we just got, be able to actually upgrade. Oh, actually, yeah, we have this particle accelerator, which could definitely do it. That's meant to be sold. Got it. Well, it's not a whole lot, but it's something. There you go.
Monsters from the terrifying armies of Pulse.
What's hope? That's it. Now you are slightly better. Well, that doesn't sound very good. But we're not going to worry about that. Oh, hey guys. How's it going? So you're running away from giant monsters. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know why you're running to fight us, but we'll take the good fight. Especially if you have incentive chips. I need a lot of credit and incentive chips. More than any of you guys probably get paid in. Hey there, Mr. Behemoth. How you doing? Humbaba, huh? Sure. I'm guessing you're a unique Behemoth then? You have one hell of a smile, that's for damn sure. Ooh. Ooh. Can you please stay away from me, Mr. Horrible Monster, sir? I mean, I know I came to you for this fight, but... Oh, we barely did not get gored. And yep, he's gonna rage soon. And this is not gonna be good. Oh. We are not close enough. Whew. You are an asset, Hope. I know I've made fun of you along the way. Actually, a lot along the way. But we would not be doing as well right now if it weren't for you. And I am sorry. You are quite a valuable asset. Well, I mean, the damage dealers got out of the way. And that's all that really matters, right? That the enemy, the guys that do the damage, get out of the way from the horrible attack. Actually, mainly just lightning. As long as lightning survives the horrible attacks, that's all that really matters. Okay, now we're on a lower highway. And we're going to jump to yet another lower highway. Indeed we are. Okay. Nope. There we go. Okay. Oh. Boy, okay. I'm guessing you want me to go over there and fight all those things. Okay, game. Whatever. Ooh. Ooh. Well, let's kill us a behemoth. and then we'll fight the soldier boys. Well, the fact that it started at half hit points and was able to immediately go into super mode without having any stagger built up, that's not good for us. I'm hoping that'll not hurt them nearly enough. It's not really doing a whole lot to these, to the normal soldier boys. I wish I could get around to the other side so when she did it, hey, we got one. That's one less. Two, maybe. Oh, no, just one. God dang. Well, let's spend one turn just pounding the crap out of the enemy, and then we can go back. 2 turns pounding the crap out of the enemy. Then we can go back to solidarity. Ho 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 ho! Ho 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 ho! That was a little closer than I like things to be for lightning.
Thanks.
I mean, I really don't like things to be this close for Fang either, but if someone needs to get messed up, it should probably be Fang, who has A, the hit points, B, some amount of self-healing, or the ability to just reduce the amount of damage that she takes on a pretty ridiculous scale with, what is it, Steel Guard. She pretty much becomes invulnerable. I mean, obviously, not really. Alright, guys. I'm sorry, but you're now dead. Now that there's no horrible monster for me to focus on. Also, how many of those mana drive things do you have? And that looks an awful lot like magic, by the way. Are you sure you don't have Lassie powers? So that took us 3 minutes. God dang. Alright, well, there's another one. Nope, 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 nope. I want to try and catch this fight by surprise. Doesn't look like I did so, though. And we want to get rid of you guys, because you guys are really annoying. And then we'll just have the behemoth, which will be like normal, except we won't have the added horribleness of other guys doing damage to us. So, bonus. Hopefully this will go a little bit better. I mean, I'm not anticipating it. This guy has just a massive pool of hit points. We're trying to tear into, but... Actually, can we spin around? Maybe not. Well, we tried. Our weapons do additional fire damage now. That's kind of cool. The most interesting thing was last week when we got approached for that event to play Next Step Hero. Otherwise, I mean,
Thanks.
work, spin, work. I had a discussion just the other day with housemate Roland about some more audio stuff. I've never actually had to like get fisticuffs, but there was more than a few times where I thought I would have to. Like when you are dealing with mentally unstable homeless individuals, it's difficult to really say what's going to happen. And I've definitely had some that were very combative and confrontational. Fortunately, it never got to blows, but essentially what it came down to was, you need to leave, you're causing problems. No, I'm not going to leave. Like, holding their, like, them balling their fists, getting ready. It's like, then I'm calling the police. That's typically how things go, and then they leave. Because once the police get called, then they go to jail. And although there's always that, like, you don't want to send homeless people to jail because then they just get a free meal and a free bed. Jail is not a pleasant place. I've never been, but I have very good reason to believe that it is not a pleasant place. As a security guard, while not working at the medical facility that I'm currently at, just another place, I busted a prostitution ring that was being run out of an apartment, because essentially I just noticed a whole bunch of like people going into this apartment at all hours of the night, and I started documenting it in my reports, because anytime I notice anything weird, I have to fill out a whole report about it. And while it's their apartment, you know, they can let anyone they want in pretty much whenever they want. They'd be there for like, it was never the same people more than once. It was always very odd. So I reported it, and you know, just kept on this record. Oh, we're back to you kicking my butt again. Got it. And eventually, the site that I was working for called the police on it, and it turns out it was a pretty major prostitution ring. There was also, at a hotel that I worked at for a night, I was just covering a guy's shift for one night while he was on vacation, and I had a drunk guy in the halls of the hotel, passed out, just like on the floor. So I go and try to wake him up. Nothing. Try to wake him up. Nothing. And of course, you know, it's like 3 a.m., so I can't be in the halls like yelling, like, wake up! Wake up! So I'm just like kind of shaking him lightly, trying to get him to wake up. He's not waking up, so then we call the ambulance. Because there's only so much that we're allowed to do, and when it comes to contacting, like physical contact. And so the ambulance comes, and it turns out he's not drunk. But he had 2 8-balls and was in the process of ODing.
Come on then.
Those are the 2 biggest, like, or the 3 biggest things that have ever occurred to me as while I was a security guard. Most of the time, when you're at a site as a security guard, it's sitting in a room or a booth, watching either monitors or a gate, and just making sure nothing happens. Sometimes you actually have to interact with people. Like, I give a lot of directions right now as a security guard. Like, when people are leaving the medical facility, they're usually lost, and so they'll ask for directions. How do I get? I have no idea where I am. I'm from out of town. How do I get here? Oh. That's the most common thing that I do.
Come on then.
Or also help people back out of parking spaces in a really full parking lot when there's about 6 other people pulling into the parking lot waiting for that spot.
Steady now.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
I've called a lot of tow trucks to A, come and help people out, and B, to impound people. Or impound cars.
Steady now. Don't worry. Come on.
It's a really weird job. It covers a lot of things, and you have to be prepared for everything, even though almost nothing happens. Part of the tasks that I have to do is, if I encounter something that is a security risk that is not, even if it's not strictly speaking part of my job, I take it upon myself because it is a security risk. Like, if there's a bunch of glass in the parking lot, well, I work at a medical facility. We've had people fall just walking from their cars to our building. So if I see glass in the parking lot, broken glass, I'll go and get a broom and dustpan and clean it up, just because it's better that it gets cleaned up now than waiting for somebody to come along and clean it up. Or if I find something that is only loosely biohazardous material, like I found a homeless person's bag of clothes once. Well, it is technically like biohazard, because we don't know like what's going on with it, and it might involve bodily fluids. So then I go and get, you know, my materials and
Thank you.
like my gloves and
Come on
a
then.
face mask and clean it up. It's a pretty boring job, and most of the time nobody knows actually what I've done. Because they only know the things that they call me to go do, like, hey, we have someone who's
Come on then.
pitching a fit over in this specific area. Can you come and back up the supervisor if they need it? Yep. I'll be, you know, like 5 feet away waiting for a signal from the supervisor or the person to, like, get angry. To essentially wait for them to escalate it to the point where my involvement's necessary. And usually, like, not always, but usually the threat of, like, hey, cool it or the police are going to be on the way is enough to dissuade most situations.
Come on then.
Or defuse most situations. But not always. I've had to call the cops a few times. One notable occasion, it was in the early fall of last year, I want to say. There was a guy on the sidewalk, asleep, covered in a plastic sheet, like Visqueen, except it wasn't moving. So I called the cops and was like, hey, there's this guy, there's a person underneath a Visqueen sheet, and they're not moving, they're not reacting when I call out to them, and I don't see a rise or fall in the sheet or like anything. Can you come check it out and make sure somebody's not dead? Turns out the person was just like blackout, ridiculously drunk. So they were not reacting to anything. Like, the cops spent probably a couple minutes trying to get a reaction out of this individual. These guys are
Thanks.
annoyingly difficult. But what was I saying before all that? Oh, I was talking to housemate Roland a little while ago about some things we could do to try and improve our audio. And essentially what he said is... How's the best way to put this? Be in a closet. And then put sound dampening material along all the walls of the closet. Because the space is small enough that it actually doesn't have... The sound can't really reflect anywhere. And if you use sound dampening materials, then you create a dead zone.
Thank you.
And while our audio isn't bad, you know, I'm striving for improvement. And I'm not sure if video or audio quality is the area that I need to improve next. Video quality just requires me getting a better camera. That's all there is to it. Audio quality, though, there are things I could do that don't require necessarily buying more equipment. It's just kind of a... It's more work on my part. And I don't mean just like finding a place, finding a place in my room.
Thanks.
Or like working with the settings. It's like rebuilding my room, which since I'm renting, I don't really have the option of doing. So, still working on that. The only other thing I could do, really, would be to get just a crap ton of sound isolating foam Just like a ridiculous amount. And pretty much cover the room floor to ceiling in sound dampening foam.
I don't think there's any way through here.
That would be like the next closest thing I could do, is essentially turn this whole room into a sound dead zone. That way there's no reflections. The only thing that could possibly happen is the audio going into this microphone. But that volume of sound isolating material is rather pricey. It's something that I've definitely thought about, because there are cheaper options you can do to kind of like mimic that effect. Kind of like you can get those egg crate like mattress things. They're like a quarter the cost and about, you know, like a third as good. So it's something. You can also get, if you're really on the budget side, you can actually literally just get those God, what are they? Literally the egg, the things that hold eggs, like the actual egg plates, when you buy 5 dozen eggs as opposed to a dozen or a half dozen. And those work pretty well because they create reflective surfaces that aren't... They're denser material, and they create odd reflections that just bounce within themselves. But it looks really bad, because then you just have this kind of thick, fibrous, gray material all over your walls.
Change of plan.
This'll be fun.
Woo. Look at that sword.
Thanks.
That is a mighty weapon you have there, sir. Well, we've almost got your number. In fact, we will very shortly have your number. The whole thing? Okay, launch. Thank you. Now, being a security guard is, most of the time, nothing. Mostly don't do anything. But you need to be on high alert to do something at a moment's notice. So it's stressful in the regard that at any moment something bad could happen, and you have to know exactly what to do and who to call and what to say to make things go smoothly. So what you're essentially getting paid for is not actually what you do, it's more the stress you endure. kind of weird signs. I wonder if they're like caution signs or something. Actually, no. First of all, we've got some stuff to sell. Nope. Nope. Components. All of these credit chips and incentives. And this gold dust, which is actually worth a lot. Strength, no. Physical. Damage resistance, wrong person. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Whoa. A whole 2% per level up. Or no, 1% per level up. Yeah. That royal armband, man. That whew.
Looks like a great place for enemy ambushes. Dangerous to spread out, you know.
Well, let's get in some fights. What time is it? 8:12. Okay, we got plenty of time. Really? Well, I'm gonna fight the vampires. They are far more dangerous. So yeah, the both. Well, not only do I personally not want to get into a fight if I can avoid it. The site that I work at and the company that I work for don't want me to get into fights because it's an insurance thing. So they spend a lot more time on crisis management than we actually do on any sort of self-defense or anything like that. Actually, in fact, in terms of self-defense, they don't want us fighting so much so that we're unarmed. I'm an unarmed security guard. So I'm essentially a mouth with a phone with eyes. Actually, no. Eyes with a mouth and a phone. The state has no problem with me taking care of business if necessary, but both the company that I work at and the company that I work for don't want fights because they don't want to handle the insurance liability. Which, I mean, I get. That kind of insurance has got to be really, really expensive. I have almost been hit by cars a lot. Almost every day. Like somebody's not paying attention to where they're going and almost hits me, or isn't paying attention while backing out of their parking spot or something. But I get very close to getting hit by vehicles frequently. Nearly every day, in fact. that doesn't surprise me because that happens when I'm on my bike. That happened before I was a security guard. Just like, I'd be rounding up carts at a retail place that I worked at, and these are very colorful carts that you really can't miss, and yet somehow I actually had someone take out a stack of carts once. Not like back into them while I was pushing them behind their car. No, no, no. Was pushing them through the lane to get back into the store. Boom. No more carts. Well, not no more carts, but a lot of carts gone. Trying to think of any other interesting work stories. Well, that sucked.
No.
That I've had. While working at a retail store that sold Power Wheels, I had a woman argue with me that 3 to 5 miles per hour, depending on the weight of her child, was not me telling her how fast it could go. And while strictly speaking true, I did not say an exact number. I felt confident in what I told her and how it was presented. But it got to the point where she requested a manager to get involved. Hey, Wicked. I'm doing great, man. Just telling some work stories. And the manager came in and told her pretty much exactly what I said, except when the woman said, "Well, that doesn't tell me anything." She's like, "Well, here's," and then she handed her the little like card about that Power Wheel that gave like the weight restrictions and its maximum speed. And then she just looked at the card and said, "So it goes 3 to 5 miles per hour, huh?" And I wanted to hit the woman. I've never wanted to hit a customer so badly as I did right then.
Thanks. Keep the enemy off.
Actually, Henry, since you talked about getting into a fight, I actually did get into a fight with someone once while working in retail. And it's only kind of. It was Black Friday, and a couple of women were fighting over a toy. I don't even remember what it was now. But I remember thinking it was a really dumb, even at the time. And I got in the middle to try and stop them, and I got popped pretty hard on the face while trying to get in between them. It didn't take me out, but I definitely saw stars. Yeah, so the place that all the places that I've worked security at, you missed a couple of okay stories. The security company that I work for doesn't want me to get into fights. The place that I'm a security guard at doesn't want armed security guards. So, no fights. But I've been very close a couple times. I accidentally busted a prostitution ring. I potentially saved the guy's life, who I thought was just drunk and passed out on a hotel room or hotel hall floor. Called the ambulance, or called non-emergency 911, and it turned out he was ODing on an 8-ball, or a couple 8-balls or something. They found drugs on his person.
And I was just getting started.
Jesus. Oh, see, now they're giving me all the materials that I need to level up all my gear. Also, there's all... Nope, don't want to do that fight. There's a lot of those guys over there. I don't really want to go into that. Wow, there's just a lot of boys. A lot of rowdy boys over there. Let's go see what's over here. Actually, I got into more interesting situations working in retail than I ever did. Damn. No, that's the kind of thing that I'm always worried about will happen, but no. Nothing like that has ever happened. But no, yeah, definitely working retail, I saw a lot more just stuff than I ever have as a security guard. Now, the stuff that I've seen as a security guard has been more dramatic. The best thing that ever happened, that I ever saw as a retail employee, was so a lot of retail stores don't want the liability of you trying to stop as an employee. They don't want to take on the risk of you trying to stop a shoplifter. So what they say is, you know, just observe, mark down everything for stealing, like try and customer service them to the point where they don't want to steal. And the place that I worked at sold a lot of various things. But the best thing that and a lot of it got stolen. But one day we had a guy come in, probably mid-20s to late 30s. He walked into the store, didn't want any help. Goes and gets a backpack off the shelf. Okay, no big deal yet. Walks over to our collectible card games area and starts just filling this backpack with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. With Yu-Gi-Oh card packs. Backpack's probably about 2/3 full. Goes into the back area where the bikes are kept, the display bikes, pulls one off the rack, and just starts walking towards the front. And as he gets towards the registers, he just hops on the bike and rides out the door. All the while we're on the radio, we're following this guy, everyone's asking him if he needs assistance, we're keeping a tally of everything that he walked out the door with. And then the management, or the manager that was the MOD, the manager on duty, was just like, okay, so how much? And we calculated it up. He's like, okay, that's it. Didn't want us to call the police. Didn't want to get a description, like a good description of the guy, anything like that. Nope. Just ate that loss. So that was probably the most interesting thing I ever witnessed working in retail. And that's including a Black Friday fight over a toy. Which, by the way, it wasn't even the last one of those toys. The toy that I got hit for trying to stop two of them from fighting wasn't even the last one. There was like 5 on the shelf that they were fighting over one of them. Wow. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. That's just so ridiculous that... There's a whole... Wow. This section right here is all that I ever wanted this game to be. There's lots of enemies, there's lots of like interesting little nooks and crannies and paths and... Where was this the whole game? We just need to find a safe point now, because we're not there yet, but we're getting pretty close. Still got about a half an hour, but can easily speed up that amount of time looking for a safe point. Really? That one's not dead yet?
Change of plan.
Pathetic.
Damn. Damn. No, that's just messed up. Oh, this was just the alternate path from over here. Okay. Man, that sucks. Because you were playing the hell out of that game. Which, by the way, that's probably the next game I'm going to pick up, so that we can stream it. Because that's the only game in the Far Cry series that I'm missing. So, once we hit the 15, then we'll start our poll for what is the next gaming franchise we're going to take a look at. And there's a lot, but it is a big old honkin' list. A lot of the games I haven't played either. Like, I've played... I've played a number of The Elder Scrolls. I played a number of... the Fallout games. Where's that list? I've played a number of the GTAs. Yeah, so... I've played most of the Civ games, most of Fallout, all of Diablo, most of the Elder Scrolls. I mean, I like Spec Ops: The Line, but... Which, by the way, if any of you out there haven't played Spec Ops: The Line, you should. It is an amazing game that does its best to try and help you deal, or to help you work, like, understand insanity. And there's things that they tell you to do in the game. Like, the characters will be talking, and they'll provide two options, usually, for something. For, you know, a given, like, situation. And there's sometimes a third on, like, non-mentioned option. Sometimes a fourth. It's... Spec Ops: The Line is one hell of a game. These guys can be kind of rough, especially at full health like this. God, you guys suck.
Stay down.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Like, so now that I've hit this point in the game, I kind of wish in my original playthrough I had been able to make it this far, because like this section, there's a lot of different, like, is pretty much the antithesis of everything I was talking about before. About, like, the bad parts of this game in terms of gameplay. It's staggering the shift that they've made here. And the only thing I can assume is that they did this because that the game is the way it is because of time constraint on development. because nothing else makes sense. I'm guessing that they had working systems, working enemies, working combat, and they were working a lot on environmental stuff when someone said, you have a year to ship the game. 1 year. And so they slapped everything together that they had and threw it out the door.
Time for another approach. Do that.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me at this point. Because the big open area was obviously, like, completed. This section was fairly well completed. A lot of the major, like, story cutscenes, very well done. Obviously, the enemies are well textured, the characters are well modeled. Even the environments are fairly well textured. I mean, this is kind of a bad example of it, but still.
Keep the enemy off balance.
But yeah, it's too little, too late. I doubt most people made it this far into the game. Most people that bought it, and so they didn't get to experience the part where it becomes more like a Final Fantasy. Hell, I would be surprised if most people who bought this game made it to Pulse. If they didn't quit somewhere along the area where the team meets back up at Hope's house. Oh, F this.
Want to crash that party?
No! But I guess we will. I mean, we kind of have to. But first... Wow, we made it to Medic. Significantly more hit points. That's always a plus. She needs a lot more on Commando, but she's going to get everything she needs. Wow, this is another 100 hit points. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be good. Okay, so you are on Ravager. Damn, that was a lot of magic. Did we get it? Did we get the... Oh yeah, we did. Yep, the Harvester. That's the one that needs to go away first. It's far more dangerous. But I don't think we're quite gonna get there. Oh, maybe? If we do, it's gonna be real close. Alright. Now we can deal with this guy. Oh, are we fighting his sword? Yeah, we are. Oh well. I thought we were, like, really tearing this guy apart there for a minute there. Looking at the Although that sword is really tearing us open as well. Ooh, that was some serious damage you did there, sir. Congratulations. You hurt the entire team really badly. Hi, man. Enjoy the show. Uh-oh. Nope. Wow. Way to go, Lightning. You just whiffed it hardcore. And again. There we go. Hey, look at that. Some hits. Not a one-hit wonder. Oh, ho, ho. Fang, you are getting messed up bad. There we go. All done. An electrode and a transformer. Who did I get? Because if I got Optimus Prime, this is going to be easy. If it's like Starscream. I mean, Starscream's powerful, but
So close.
he's also
We'll find another way
kind
in.
of a wimp.
There's no time for that.
Oh, are we fighting a living wall now?
There you go.
Oh, no.
Gate catch a beat, hero.
Pretty lame.
What are they doing here?
Snow?
Hey!
Where you been?
Guys!
No, seriously, what the hell are they doing here?
So, Snow, you're a pulseless sea now, huh?
Yeah, good times.
Then why didn't you tell us? Why the hell didn't you come and find us?
Yeah, we've been waiting.
Us and the rest of the Purge fugitives.
But damn, those Pulse Fal'Cie sure know how to pick 'em.
Yeah. Out of all the idiots in the world, they choose this one.
Oh, hey, now wait just a minute here. I am your fearless leader. You're not supposed to laugh at the boss.
What?
Fearless? Yeah, actually, he's pretty fearless.
Just like old times, huh, boss?
Don't you worry. We'll take care of the civilians.
Okay,
And
good.
you
At
concentrate
least
on saving
someone's worried about the people.
We all will.
Jesus.
Together.
It's about time someone took responsibility. Good job, Hope.
Now, what's our motto?
FF13, you're no match for Nora!
Is that it? I thought it was the Sanctum is no match for Nora. Also, you probably shouldn't ride a jet bike side saddle. Just saying. But, you know, who do I know? We don't have jet bikes. Maybe it's totally fine. Do I have to now round... Oh, okay. I was afraid there for a moment I'd have to round up all the civilians and, like, figure out, like, an escort mission them somewhere.
Not going down without a fight.
Good. I mean, I don't know who you're going to fight. The monsters are totally just going to rip you apart. But, good thoughts. Nope, we want you. Yep, and then some moistened scales. Transformers are not worth exactly what I was expecting. Wow. Okay. There we go. That's good enough for that one. That's a lot of hit points. Physical damage reduction. Alright, so let's do one particle accel. Okay. Ooh. Okay. There we go. See, that looks pretty good. And then we'll do same thing here. Yep, figured as much. Alright, so Fang is actually doing pretty damn good. So what else? Whole bunch of magic. We'll just get him a whole hell of a heap and pile of HP. Alright, so Hope. Actually, our team defensively is starting to look pretty good now. Credit chip and an incentive chip. Alright, what's up ahead? Oh, well. Alright, a couple of behemoths are going to be fighting some guys. Or me. Apparently me. Apparently there's no guys for them to fight. Oh! And they... I didn't get surprise. So this could be real bad. We'll see. We'll see how this fight goes.
New strategy.
Hey, how about some bonuses and some deterrence on them, hopefully.
Thank you.
And come on, Hope. You've got to have more. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, stack them up. Alright. That's better. One at a time. That's how we gotta take them. So if we do anything else, we'll totally get messed up. bad. Like, real bad. Like, we're having a hard enough time just fighting one of these guys, so... Oh, shit. Oh, man. Look at that damage that he dealt. And that's through our defensive spells. I mean, he's almost dead, but still. Holy cow.
Don't worry.
There we go.
Steady now.
It's too bad lightning isn't a very good medic. Actually, no, that's probably a good thing, because then that keeps her from being... Like, she's already a Mary Sue, but that keeps her from getting too far into that category. And honestly, having characters be Mary Sues isn't necessarily a bad thing in and of itself. It's how you use them and present them that can make or break whether or not having a Mary Sue in your story ruins it or not. Come on, you piece of crap. Okay, we got him. We don't need to worry anymore. I don't see a save point coming up, so what we'll do is we will go back to that last save point. And then I'll have to be fighting behemoths for my, well, maybe not. Maybe I can go back to the last area and earn a whole bunch of more money and better experience as well. We'll see. Although that explosion just triggered again, so maybe they need to work on that. So we'll end with a full level up sequence. We'll level up everybody. We'll get as far on their paths as we can. That's right, we're working on medic now. And you are almost done with Commando. Dang. Oh, come on. How far? Oh, well. That's the type of situation where I really wish this was like Dark Souls, and I could have an item that I destroy for XP. But not every game can be Dark Souls, which is a good thing, because if every game was Dark Souls, I would hate the world. Not because Dark Souls is a bad game, or that it's particularly all that difficult, it's just that, you know, I want variety in life. Alright, so you finished that. 21. Oh, not medic. You're on synergist, got it. And as a synergist, you're just now getting shell and protect. Quite gonna make it. Sorry, Zaz. Alright. Vanille, what have you got going on? We got your medic. Are you on Sap? I think you're on Ravager. Yeah, you are. Okay. Three-quarters, sir. We're on the last chapter. We're at the end of the game. I mean, that's honestly when you, in most RPGs, when you hit, like, the I must grind wall is at the end of the game, so that part whatever. What I'm most upset about is that, like, that section, that last section where it was a interweaving bunch of enemies all over the place, like, that was really well done. Really well done. And doesn't happen anywhere else. Actually, I didn't even know that that existed, so, like, kudos to the team who made the game. Like, actually putting together, like I said, I have a feeling that that section was already, like, mapped out well in advance, and they already were, and they essentially were just told, hey, you need to kick this game out now. And so they cobbled together what they could and just shipped it. Which, so if you want to talk about video game development for the last few moments, when it comes to game development, that is frequently something that has to be said, because no team, no director, no producer is ever happy with the game that they ship. There's always things that they cut. There's always things that they could have done better. There's always bugs. But eventually, someone has to just look at the team, and it's usually someone way higher up, and just say, it's done. Project's over. Finish your last little bits and ship it. Because a team will work on a game forever if you don't. If you don't cut them off, they will work on it forever. Because they will never be happy with the way it works, with the way it looks, with how it functions. It's a creative thing. Creative people are never happy with their creative endeavors. And I have a feeling that this game was too ambitious, and someone pulled the trigger and said, ship it now. And unfortunately, for most of the game, it wasn't completed, so they just threw it together the best they could and got it out the door. But that's just a theory. I have no way to proving that. I'm just basing that on the differences between the areas, and some areas seem kind of shoddy and poorly put together. Not like in appearance, just like their functionality. They're a functional section of the game, not a well-made section of the game. But also bias. Been playing Final Fantasy games for the last almost year. God damn. Anyway, hope you guys have a good night, and hope you'll join me tomorrow for more Final Fantasy 13. And honestly, I think we've only got a couple of sections left. So, hopefully we'll finish it up soon. Like, remember that there is a huge sci-fi sale going on over at Humble right now. So, if you take our link... Oh, God. And head on over to the Humble store, you can check out that sci-fi sale. There's No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous, Stellaris. I want to say I saw FTL on there as well. Go check it out and treat yourself. Pick out something nice. Have a good night, guys.